Welcome to episode 3 of The Traveling Producer, where I travel to restaurants and I make music on my lunch break. And hopefully I encourage and inspire you to do the same thing. First things first, we gotta pick a genre. Today we're gonna be making... Deep House. And here's the restaurant that we're gonna be making it in. No freaking way. Oh my gosh, Chili's. I kind of put Chili's on the list as a joke because I just think it's so funny. It's like the restaurant is almost like a meme in and of itself. But I gotta honor the first spin because that way it stays fun for me because I don't know what kind of music I'm making. I don't know where I'm making it until right before I gotta go. So without further ado, let's go make some Deep House at Chili's. Okay, we're officially at Chili's with our Diet Coke. Just trying to get a little caffeine to get pumped. If you've never been to Chili's, then you've never had a good birthday party, or you've never celebrated a graduation, because this is where you go to celebrate those things. So, today we're going to be diving into some Deep House. First thing for Deep House is you just want to get a good drum loop going, and you want to set a good tempo. We're going to do 124, just because it seems like a good tempo to me. Now, in Ableton, I'm just going to use my sample pack, EDM Producer Pro. And I'm going to use this NV kick right here. And all I'm going to do is just highlight a bar and press Command D or highlight a beat. That way I can make this little loop here. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that out just so we can get a little loop going. I'm going to press Command T and I'm going to add in a clap on a new track. Honestly, any of these will work perfectly fine. Notice how to navigate. Notice how, dude, I'm already burping. I haven't eaten any food yet. Okay, to navigate, I'm hovering the mouse up here in this gray area so the magnifying glass pops up and I can click and drag up and down. Okay, let's get a little loop going. We're just going to duplicate these claps out with Command D. Turn the claps down a bit. Awesome, we are already off to a great start here. Let's get some hi-hats going. I like that one. Now notice how the kicks are on every single beat, so if I turn the click on, we solo the kicks are on every single beat. The claps are on every other beat, so it goes kick, then kick and clap. And then the hi-hats are on what we call the offbeats, so they go in between all the kicks. Awesome. Now let's go ahead, find some kind of shaker. I'm going to go ahead and shape this exactly how I want it. Also, guys, there's just no way around it. It's hella loud in here, and it is going to be a loud one today. So if you hear anything in the background, nothing I can do about it. It's just the price you pay for eating at Chili's. Now what I've done is I've just put in this shaker noise and put it in between the kicks and the hi-hats. Just to add a little bit of variation here, add a little pattern. Another thing I can do with that too is just put a little reverb on it. Maybe put it in a room, throw it in a drums room here, and then turn out the decay. And of course turn it way down. And I'll turn that metronome off. We got a happy birthday. She just sang her friend happy birthday, and I rest my case. That is textbook Chili's right there. It's just the place you go for birthdays. No way around it. First French fry. Not bad. Oh my goodness, napkin in the lap before I start eating. Guys, I just want to say I'm really proud of myself for growing. I also used better headphones because I noticed my mixes were a little wonky on the last 2 videos. And also I told my editor to mute when I'm taking bites so you don't have to hear it. Okay, so any good Deep House song has drums, bass, some sort of mid-range elements, effects, and vocals. So for this one, next up I want to make some bass. I'm going to press Command-Shift-T. It's going to make a brand new MIDI track. I'm going to go to Instruments, Instrument Rack, and Bass. And let's see what we got here. I'm going to try basic trigger bass. This is like very Deep House bass. This is sick. So I'm just going to highlight a section on that MIDI track and press Command-Shift-M, make a brand new MIDI clip. And I'm going to do, let's see, what key do we want to work in? All right, let's go for F minor here. You know what? We're going to take a bite. We're going to have this burger since it's absolutely giant. Santa Fe burger at Chili's. If you know, you know. Dude, this thing's already falling apart. Thank you. Delicious. Not gonna lie, it's kind of fire actually. It's really good. I have to say, my Chili's experience with that amazing "Happy Birthday" being sung, so far really good. And you know what? If I wasn't trying to record my voice and produce a song, I would be like probably loving the music and drinking a margarita. All right, let's get a bass line going here. I'm just gonna program what I think will sound good. Alright, this bass line's actually kind of fire. Took me a little bit to come up with it. Just tweaking away until it sounded the way that I wanted to. Let me play the bass. And the bass with the kick. Yo, that is actually so fire. I'm going to go ahead and drag in a compressor right onto our bass track, and we're going to sidechain it just by opening this up sidechain. We're going to do audio from NB kick, turn EQ off and ratio all the way up, talk all the way down, and play with this threshold here. Oh, this is already so fire. I'm going to drag EQ 8 at the end of this and just turn up the low end on our bass, this sub bass. And let's bring in that clap. And here's everything. Alright, it's a little bit loud, the whole song. It's kind of clipping a little bit, so I'm just going to highlight everything here. Clicking on the bottom track, holding shift and clicking on the top, and just clicking in one of the faders over here to the right, and turning the volume down. We can also shorten our kick sample a little bit. That'll help with our distortion clipping that we're hearing. Yeah, like that. That's a better kick. Not gonna lie, it's a good burger. Santa Fe burger at Chili's. If you know, you know. Okay, one thing I want to do is I actually want to make a separate sub bass for this bass sound. The reason for that is especially for dance music and stuff, you want like separate low end to kind of fill things out, because when you play it on a big sound system at like a festival or at a party or in your car, low end is like everything in dance music. So let's make a little sub bass here. Go to instruments, and if you guys have noticed, I've been using Ableton for everything so that you guys can totally follow along the whole way, assuming that you get some basic dance drum samples, which are pretty easy to source online. Or if you're part of my EDM Producer Pro program, I include samples in there. These are the ones that I'm using today. All right, so I'm actually going to use a bass from Simpler on this one. So let's just go to Simpler, bass, and we'll drag B bass onto this track here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete these higher notes, because we don't really need them. We're just trying to get the sub bass notes. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to cut off all this high end information here, because we don't need that. Cut it off right around 100. And then in this basic trigger bass here, we'll scoop out that low end as well. And that way these two basses kind of complete each other. So this B bass here, I'll call it sub bass, and above we'll call it mid bass. Yeah, now we got some crazy low end on that. Now this stuff may not seem like it's making a big difference if you're listening on a phone, but when it comes to touring, playing your music out at festivals, this stuff makes a huge difference, and it's going to make your music sound way more professional, so don't ignore it. Alright, let's get some mids going. I want to find some kind of pad. Let's look at instrument rack. So I have this VHS Dream pad sound that I found, and these notes are playing the same notes as the bass, and I'm just going to press Command A to select them all, and hold Option and drag them up, and draw in some chords. Just very basic. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and add our sidechain compressor to this too, one from our basses. Okay, let's start to structure this out. Basically, I'm going to make a pre-drop section, and then our drop is going to be something like... Yeah, we'll have to do that every other time. That is so sick. All right, let's make some more layers here. I'm gonna go ahead and extend this little build section just by copying and pasting. I'm gonna get another bite of my amazing Santa Fe burger. All right, I'm just gonna organize a little bit. I'm gonna group my drums together, group my basses together. I'm just highlighting those tracks and pressing Command G, by the way. Command R to rename, bass, drums, and then we have this VHS. Let's go ahead and make it some sort of drone noise as well. Let's turn on the release on these. I'm just going to put another pad below, just playing these bottom notes. Nice. Let's try a voice-like pad instead of this VHS Dreams. I'm not really like it. That's better. Nice, we can actually build with it now. So what I want this to do is to open up over time, over the course of the build. I want it to open up. So to do that, I'm going to automate it by clicking this little slanted line right here. Then I'm going to click on this filter cutoff down here to the left and move it a little bit. And you'll see a line show up right here on our pad. So now we can have this open up over time. Check this out. Okay, so obviously it gets way, way too loud. We're just going to put a compressor at the end of this, turn that ratio up, click this bent line and bring that threshold down. And that'll kind of balance out the audio. Okay, it's really just only going to go up like that at the very end, like that. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video at all, you're having a good time, you're having fun with me at Chili's, and you're learning something, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. That way you'll give me the chance to help you make the best music that you're capable of, and it's free for you, and it means a lot to me. So subscribe if you want to, and let's get back to the video. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and go to our drums and add a building snare. I'm going to add a MIDI snare like I've been doing. It's the easiest way to pitch a snare up over time. I'm going to make a MIDI clip, Command Shift M. It is just so loud in here. I can't even express the level of concentration it's taken to focus on the song. Okay, so on this MIDI track, we're just going to drag an instrument onto it. We're going to drag Simpler onto it and drag our builder snare. Just got to click the little record icon right here to the right. And now we can use our computer keyboard to play the snares. And if that's not working for you, just to the upper right, click on this little keyboard icon here, and that will enable it for you. So let's go ahead and start building with these snares. All right, here's our snare build. Just get rid of this one. And let's go ahead and use little auto filter in Ableton. We can just filter this in. Notice how we're still in automation view here to the right. So now we can filter it in like this. And we can also use some reverb. I'm going to automate some reverb at the end of all this and just turn it all the way down and start to kind of turn it the dry wet up here at the end. And then I want this to cut off pretty quickly. So, okay, I got it how I want it. And you know what? I kind of like that pad bleeding over into the chorus, but I want this sidechain effect to be really strong so we can hear like the tail end of this pad. Then definitely never underestimate someone working on the computer at Chili's because they could be making the next Deep House anthem. Okay, let's do a few more things to this. Let's add a sweep to this. So we've got our drums, we've got our bass, now we've got some mids. Next up, we're going to go for effects. I'm going to press Command T. Also going to exit automation view like that. And I'm going to go to EDM Producer Pro, my own sample pack. Let's do sweeps. Let's see how this sounds if we hold Command and drag it really precisely. All right, let's add a couple more effects. Let's add some kind of, and then we'll add this halfway through. I'm just going to turn this down a bit just to kind of normalize the volume of all these. Turn all these effects down by 10 dB. I'm also going to add some delay to them just to kind of spice them up a bit. I'm going to unlink these. Yeah, there we go. Now all of a sudden it's really wide in the mix. It adds so much more that way. Changed my mind about this pad. I want it to fade out. I'm going to go ahead and automate this space. Just fade out right here. Let's see. All right, let's actually have it go down here. And if you hold Option, you can curve these automation lines. We'll have it end about right there. That is super sick. Okay, I want to do a little reverse effect with the bass here. Press Command T. I'm going to send our mid bass to Audio 9, the new track we just made. I'm going to click Auto, the record icon, press record. Okay, I just want this first note basically. Actually, I want it to be longer. Basically, I'm trying to record this note right here, and then I'm going to reverse it. So I'm going to tweak a couple things really quick here. Okay. So I'm just recording one long note into this. Send this back to bass. Okay, so basically I just recorded this MIDI bass here onto an audio track below it. And I'm going to have this bass noise reverse. I click these little arrows right here, and that's going to reverse our sound, and now we can have it kind of fade into the bass like. So it's a very cool way to... Oh, I have to admit, this Ableton bass sound is actually pretty hot. Big fan. All right, let's automate this filter cutoff here. And the filter from this guy as well. Is there a filter? Yeah. Let's put our compressor from our synth onto this guy as well. Just kind of squish it. Alright, I'm going to turn all this stuff in the beginning down a bit because I want the drop to feel bigger when it comes in. So on our drums, I'm going to go ahead and use an auto filter and use this frequency here. Just filter our drums in like that. I'm also going to use utility and just turn the gain down probably like 3 dB, and then I'll turn the utility off when we get to this drop right here. So utility's on, it's turning all the drums down right here by 3 dB, and here it'll be turn off so the drums are louder. I also want some kind of tonal element, like a yeah, or like something. Let's just try this. There it is. Oh yeah, now we're really cooking. Put a delay on that guy, on that girl. I want to encourage both guys and girls to produce. And this is how we're going to develop it over the course of this build, is we're going to turn the dry wet up and the feedback up a little bit as well. And then we'll have it all cut off right here. Probably actually cut off at this. It just goes until here and then turns off there. Nice. So now we come to the part where we got to think about vocals. Lots of deep house has vocals. If you don't have vocals, you can get an account at Splice. They have a lot of vocals. You can just build your whole track around an acapella from a popular song and then just mute the acapella, and you got a fully produced track to write like an instrumental or anything you want to. For me, I'm going to use one of my acapellas from my John Belaya song called Dream. And if you'll notice, I specified the BPM right here, 115. So you just drag in the acapella, you click warp, you change the BPM in this warp area down here to 115 and click enter, and that should warp it to the tempo of our song, which is 124. Let's go ahead and just turn the click on and listen really quick.
I had a dream that I was walking.
Nice. Let's go ahead and highlight everything. Just move it over, make room for this vocal. Turn the click off. I realize I've been leaving it on in a bunch of videos in the past, so trying to take your guys' criticism to heart, the stuff that's valid.
I had a dream that I was walking under the water, bothered by no one. I had a dream that you were with me, and I was all you wanted. Honestly, I had a dream. Had enough, yeah, I said before that I'd had enough. And said I'm done with love, cause nobody gonna give me what I
We could just have it say I had a dream, like.
dream. I'd had enough.
The fun part of an acapella of a song that's already been written is like you just piece it together and see what sounds good. Here we go.
Honest, I had a dream. You said you love me. I had a dream. You said you love me. I was a king.
Oh, this is getting sick. Very, very cool. You know, I had a feeling this one was going to be dope because Deep House is freaking awesome and so fun to make. And it's not that hard to make. It's literally just drums, bass, some mids. You can throw in a vocal. I think the biggest things are like knowing a little bit of music theory and just toying with stuff until you love the way that it sounds. Okay, so I've been working on this for 48 minutes. Probably would have taken a little bit less time if I wasn't at Chili's because let's be honest, this environment is exceptionally stimulating. There's a reason Chili's is an absolute staple around America. Dude, even these like mugs. Okay, so I'm going to work on this for just a couple minutes, polish it up a bit, and then we'll play the final product. So stick around. This is going to be a good one. Alrighty, without further ado, I present to you the Deep House song I made at Chili's in under an hour. In the loudest, most chaotic environment ever. But we got it done. Let's listen to it.
I had a dream that I was walking under the water, bothered by no one. I had a dream that you were with me, and I was all you wanted. Honestly, I had a dream. Had enough, yeah, I said before that I had enough. Said I'm done with love.
It's building dynamically.
But you came along and you gave me more.
Wait for it.
You said you love me. I had a dream. You said you love me. I was the king of the party, queen of the dance floor. I had a dream. You said you love me.
So, before you go nuts thinking, I don't have an acapella, without the acapella, it's still pretty fire. It's almost better without it. It just feels so good. That low one's crazy too. And then we got this little melodic thing comes in here. So, all that to say, I love building stuff off of acapellas, you know, because this is fire. Just think like main stage EDC. And you know what? You gotta have those stories that you play for yourself in your head while you're producing that keep you going, that keep you motivated. I still have those, you know, in my own world. Stuff that gets me stoked to keep making music. There's a proverb that says, without a vision, the people will perish. So you gotta have a compelling vision to move towards. And I hope this presented you with a compelling vision. Like, hey, if I just get Ableton and I have someone who can teach me, I can follow along, then I too can make deep house. Hopefully that's something that I've convinced you of in this little hour-long lunch at Chili's. Oh, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know down below in the comments. Seriously, it helps me a lot. I'm able to grow and make better videos when you give me feedback, and if you like it, I'll keep doing it. These are really fun for me most of the time. Today was obviously a little bit chaotic, but I think the song turned out really good. And there we could even take out the sub bass. Sorry, I'm getting carried away again, but like, no sub. Absolutely massive, guys. Today we made a massive deep house track. If you are struggling to kind of navigate this whole landscape of production, I do have a course that breaks it down, makes it as simple as possible and also as detailed as possible. Teach you guys how to make electronic dance music from the ground up, from dragging in your first sample to writing your first song to recording vocals, mixing, mastering, putting your music out, all that stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'll put a link in the description and you can learn more about the course there. I just want to say thanks so much, guys, for watching. It really means a lot to me. And remember to there's a huge lull right now. It just got super quiet at Chili's. Oh, we're back. All that to say, remember to stop making excuses and start making music. Cheers.